everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you some of my favorite wearable trends for 2022 going into 2023. Trends is a little bit of a tricky topic because a lot of the time, seasonal trends are pieces that don't have longevity in our wardrobe. So it encourages us to buy things, have it for a while, and then to let go of it. So what I want to do in today's video is to really focus on how we can make trends work by shopping our wardrobe and how some of these trends can encourage us to style pieces we already have in a different way. That for me comes with a very low risk because if we put two things together and we hate it, we just wear it the way we used to, ignoring the trends. The trends I'm sharing with you today are also very filtered, and they're the trends that really work and align with my own personal style. I think it's really important to consider our personal style for anything we add to our wardrobe, timeless or trendy. And if it doesn't align with our style, then it's not going to be worn. For today's video, I've partnered up with Mejuri, who are having their best and only sale of the year. Unlike trends that can come and go, I find that most of my jewelry pieces are very timeless, and something like a pearl earring I'll wear for forever. I'll mention my favorites later in today's video, but let's start off with our first trend. The very first thing I thought of for this video was the color purple. When I was shopping in Paris, I remember going from boutique to boutique and I would see purple everywhere, and it would range from lilac to your really deep, rich purples. The first thing I'll say is that you should definitely not be buying color just because it is trendy. It definitely depends on two main things for me: what I look good in and what suits my coloring. And the other thing is whether it suits the rest of my wardrobe. If a color is gonna stick out like a sore thumb in my wardrobe, it's probably never going to get worn, and I'll also want to get rid of the item because it's confusing me. And if a color looks bad on me, I'm also not going to wear it. So these are the two things that I think are so important to consider if we're interested in trying out a color. What I do like about this purple trend right now is that all of the shades are trendy. So while the lighter shades are not going to work for me, I know this from past experience, they don't look good on me. Some of the darker shades I really love. You can see here that I'm just filtering out all the light purples or the medium purples. I don't really get along with them. And I go straight to the deeper shades, and I'm tailoring this trend a little bit to my style. I also have a bit of a soft spot for this trend because the first thing I thought of was my Chloe test bag. I've had this for about 4 years. I've been wearing it less and less over the years, and this has just encouraged me to pull it out again and restyle it into my outfit. This is the perfect time where if you have a purple item in your wardrobe that you haven't been wearing a lot, to pull it out and give it another try. Sometimes when the color is trendy again, we see new ways of styling it. So right now I'm super inspired by some of these photos where they pair the purple with the navy and the black, and I think that feels really chic. I also love the purple with the bright pop of red. And these color combinations are just making me look at this color in a new way. I remember a comment I got in my last trend video saying that the thing that they loved about trends is that you suddenly get so many variations and options to choose from in the shops. So previously, if you loved purple, there was only a couple of things you can purchase, whereas now you can be very fussy and choose the right color, choose the right shape, the right fit, and get something that's really perfect for you and for your style. I want to take a moment here and talk about Mejuri, who are having their best and only sale of the year right now. You currently get 20% off if you spend over this amount from now until the 28th. So if there's anything on your wish list, now is the perfect time to pick it up. I have a lot of Mejuri jewelry, but I thought today I'll share with you a couple of my favorites right now. I might start with the earrings I'm wearing. I feel like a pearl earring has been a classic part of my wardrobe since I was 12 or 13. I've had different variations, but a pearl earring is a staple. The one that I'm wearing right now is a pearl ear jacket, and I think it's just a nice modern take on the classic pearl earring. I love pearl jewelry in general, but I especially like it when it's close to the face because I find pearls very brightening. So a pearl earring, I feel like it's very hard to go wrong. Something else I'm particularly enjoying right now are these little heart necklaces. So I have two on. I've got the white gold one with little diamonds on the top, and then I've got my yellow gold vermeil on the bottom, and this one has the enamel with the blue stones. There's so much heart jewelry out there that I love it when you see a heart that's been slightly reimagined in a slightly different shape or design. With these two pieces, the main difference is the material, so solid gold versus vermeil. I also feel like the enamel one is more playful, it's very pretty and cute, whereas this one is a little bit more classic and timeless with the simple design. These chains are adjustable, so for both of these necklaces, you can either wear it at the shorter length or the longer length, depending on what you like. The pieces that I wear the absolute most from Mejuri are definitely their hoop earrings. So whether we're talking about a chunkier hoop, which I've worn a lot over the years, or a more dainty hoop, these are just forever classics. This one here is very, very dainty with diamonds, but I like that it's a slightly larger hoop size, and I just tend to prefer the slightly larger shapes versus the really small. The diamond one obviously gives a really, really nice sparkle whenever it catches the light. When I wear those on my second piercing, I've been doing the little opal hoop. This one is very, very teeny tiny, but it's got some opals. Whether we're talking about pearls or opals, I just like brightening things around my face, so I don't look as tired and I look more lively. If you're interested in learning more about any of these pieces, I will have them all linked down below. And if there is something on your wish list, they do have 20% off until the 28th. Let's go to another trend now that I've been seeing reoccur a lot, but it's also so easy to recreate in our wardrobe, and that is layering. That's it, layering. So in some of these photos, you'll see a lot of sheer pieces, because this is for spring 2023. And while sheer is not always the most easy to wear, I think the idea of layering pieces is something that we can definitely adapt for our everyday style. I really like this outfit on the Tibby runway, where they've got a blue silk dress and it's styled with a couple of other pieces underneath, so you see the layering of straps. This is such a simple but beautiful pairing, and I especially just love that we're bringing more color into this outfit through the layering. I also really like this one, and this one is probably even easier to recreate, where we've got a shirt and then the dress layered over the top. I love this trend because it gets me thinking about my own wardrobe, like which shirt can I pair with which dress, and it inspires me to experiment more. In the autumn-winter, I can definitely see this translating to more subtle ways of layering. So a turtleneck inside a shirt, wearing a higher neck t-shirt inside a lower cut sweater, and all of this I think will just be so exciting to play around with. Let's go to the trend that I'm probably most excited about, and if you've been here before, not a single person will be surprised that I love this trend. And it's the MAXI skirts. So longer hemlines is something that I can really get on board with, because I've been wearing this for a long time. And for a long time, there's been a very limited selection, so I'm excited to see all of these really beautiful new designs come out. With this trend, we're seeing a couple of different shapes, ranging from the really fitted shapes, maybe something quite slinky and silky, all the way to the fuller, more voluminous styles. I'm a little bit more drawn to the more slim shapes when it comes to this style of skirt, because on my height, I'm not sure if I can pull off the really voluminous long skirt. You'll see my preferences again here, where based on my height, what I like, I gravitate towards certain pieces within the trend. If we get even more specific and look at the range of options, I tend to not like the really long ones, because I find that they could be a little bit impractical. And I prefer it when you can see a little bit of ankle. I find that length to be the most flattering on my height. I just like the length on the models as well. And it's also the most practical, I think, for my everyday. As we get higher in the hemline, I think we lose some of that maxi effect. So that ankle length for me is that perfect spot. I'm very excited about this one. There are probably so many maxi skirts I can throw up on the screen that I really love. But this is one that I'll be keeping an eye out for during Black Friday, and definitely excited to add to my wardrobe. I already have maybe 1 or 2 ankle length skirts, but I feel like I wear these all the time and enough to really justify having a few options. Let's go to bomber jackets. Not every single trend I'm sharing with you today is an absolute favorite. Some of them I just want to bring up to talk about. Bomber jackets are one of those things that I feel like come in and out of fashion, but you can pretty much always wear a bomber jacket and have it look classic. With bomber jackets in my wardrobe, it's definitely not a staple. I find that I used to have this shorter style that was a bit puffy with the zip, and it wasn't a super flattering piece on me. I feel like you definitely need to get the cut right, and with a lot of the bomber jackets I'm seeing right now, they're a little bit longer, more oversized, more relaxed, and I much prefer that look. Bomber jackets also tend to lean more casual and sporty for me, and I'm the least sporty person in the world. So this is one of those things where I don't feel like it's 100% suited to my style. A bomber jacket I came across that I did think was really nice is this one from A Piece Apart. It's got the checks, so obviously it's a bit more polished, a bit more put together than some of the nylon options. And because it's a wool material, it also resembles a wool jacket more than a bomber. This is the style that I would prefer most out of the lot. I'd love to know from you whether you feel like bomber jackets are more trendy or timeless, and whether it suits your style, because I feel like they're timeless, but they just don't really suit me. Another trend that I'm very excited to see is the metallic trend. This one ranges from really dramatic clothing to more subtle pieces, and it also goes into bags and shoes. I feel like I've always enjoyed a little bit of metallic, But again, there's not always been the option to choose a style I like. Earlier this year, without really being very aware of the trends, I'm sure it was around and I was influenced by it, but I didn't know I was influenced by it. I decided to go to an Australian brand that specializes in metallic leather and purchase this bag. It was a little bit of a birthday present to myself, and I found I was going out a lot more at night and I wanted a clutch bag. This one has a shoulder strap, so I often wear it for daytime, but I got it for evening. This definitely depends on your style and what you're comfortable with, but I find metallic to be a really fun piece for evening. I find that I do wear it in the daytime as well, and it just brings a bit of texture and interest into a lot of my more simple outfits. Obviously, the smaller you go, the more subtle it is, so a mini bag in a metallic I think can be really fun. Even a pair of dainty shoes in metallic I think can be really wonderful. Another thing with metallic and sequins is that I think of people like Trini, where she's always worn sequins and metallic things for daytime, and it's just such a key part of her style. We might not all have the same style as Trini, but I do find it really interesting to see how, depending on your personal style, pieces can just work really well, even if it's really statements, really loud and bold. A very wearable trend that just isn't really suited to me is the mini skirt. I'm showing a couple of outfits here of mini skirts I really like, and I feel like people have always worn mini skirts. Not the really extreme ones from Miu Miu, but skirts that hit kind of mid-thigh or above the knee have always been worn, and they do have a lot of timeless appeal. There's only so many lengths a skirt can be, so I don't feel like a mini skirt will ever go anywhere. It's just not really my thing. The next piece I want to talk about are leather jackets and leather skirts. This is my pre-loved leather jacket that I bought in Paris, and I'm very excited about this one because obviously I recently bought my first leather jacket. Both of these trends feel rather timeless to me, especially the leather jacket. Something I noticed is that even though leather jackets are a classic, in the past I would only see them in the biker style, whereas now I'm seeing it in all these different designs. From collarless styles like what I have, to leather bombers, leather trenches, leather jackets. I see every style of jacket in a leather material. There's a lot more to choose from right now, and because of that, I think there's a better chance that we'll find something that suits us and that will last a lot longer in our wardrobe. So that part I just really love. With the skirts that I found, you'll be able to see that there are all different shapes, from more fitted pencil skirts to your flared pleated skirts. There's a little bit of everything. I think that's really exciting to see because otherwise, if you're looking for a leather skirt, you'll only have maybe one or two choices and it might not be the perfect shape for us. These are some of my favorite looks, and I really like this outfit because even though it's all black, we have a very feminine and sleek silhouette that I think looks really nice. I also love this outfit for all of the colors and the effortless shape. I love the mixing of the burgundy, navy and black leather, and I also like the more effortless undone top with the more structured leather skirt. I feel like this outfit is really stunning, but at the same time I feel like it's quite recreatable. We might not have a navy skirt, but we might have a black, and we can just move some colors around to recreate this vibe. I have my new to me leather jacket, so I don't think I'll be buying any other leather jackets or skirts. But I'm super excited to see this as a trend and just to get lots of exciting new ways to wear my new piece. Another trend that's more of a styling idea rather than a new piece is tonal dressing. There are a couple of things that I really like about tonal dressing, and the first is that it's really easy. We don't have to spend ages working out which color goes with what. We just match two similar colors together and we're done. The other thing is that tonal dressing is very elongating. So if you are more petite or you just want to look taller, tonal dressing is a really great way to do it. We're not cutting us off anywhere with a new pop of color. With tonal dressing, we're just creating a very elongating feel, and I think that this is a very classic way to dress because it's flattering. So it'll never really go out of style. Let me show you some outfit examples I really love. We can go very simple with something like this blue shirt and jeans. This is not a very bright blue, it's a very wearable shade, and this is a perfect example of how to do it for the day-to-day. Colors like this I think are really wearable for a tonal look. We've got this grey blue shade, and I especially love that even though it's tonal, they've paired it with that yellow bag for a contrasting shade. Using greens for a tonal look I think is also very wearable, especially if it's something like khaki that's more muted. For some more daring and maximalist takes on color, you can definitely do something like this really bright fuchsia. I've recently seen so many pieces in this fuchsia on the high street, so if you wanted to do this, it's a very easy to recreate look right now. Tonal dressing is definitely not just a trend. I feel like it's something I'm always inspired by, because it's very easy and approachable and wearable. And I love that I'm getting all of these outfit ideas and inspiration from the trend. A style that I don't feel like is going anywhere is the oversized blazer. So oversized blazers is a love or hate kind of piece, but over the last few years, it's been super popular. And while it looked like shrunken blazers were in, I feel like the oversized one is not really going anywhere either. We're seeing some slightly slimmer, more long line blazers, and that's a new silhouette. But I think the oversized shape that we've been seeing over the last few years still feels very relevant now. And maybe this is just to me, but I'm very glad to see it stay around. Speaking for myself, and I know some of you guys out there, even if an oversized blazer is the least trendy thing ever, I know that the ones I have in my collection I'll continue to wear because they're such a key part of my own personal style now that I really will never part with them. And I think that's the thing about trends. Sometimes you just really fall in love with one and it becomes a part of your own style. So it may be a trend to everyone else, but it's no longer a trend in my wardrobe. And that for me is what the oversized blazer is. It's been really nice to see all of the blazer outfit inspo, especially because it's often paired with a longer skirt silhouette. And these two pieces are two of my favorite pieces in my wardrobe. This is a combination I wear all the time. So I love getting all of this outfit inspo with these two items. And even though I've been wearing my blazer all this time, I'm just excited to pull it out again after seeing these photos. I'm gonna finish up today's video with two style trends that I've seen that I'm not super sure about. And one of them is the robe. So the robe seems to fall into two categories. We've got the vintage robe, which is a bit softer, more feminine. And then we've got this really fuzzy robe. And for both of these, especially the more fuzzy, more statement style, I just can't get on board with it. I feel like I understand if we want to make a wool coat in the robe style, that would be okay. But to have the texture, I think is a bit much. And I don't really consider this a very wearable trend. If I look at some fast fashion places and I see the versions of this coat, it just looks like a piece that will only last for a season. And I just can't see this item having longevity. These are the perfect examples of trend pieces that I tend to stay away from, because this will definitely leave at the end of the season. What do we think of cutouts? I've kind of been on the fence about this one because on one hand, I feel like they can be wearable if it's quite subtle. But on the other hand, I feel like once the trend is over, the cutout thing is actually quite a strange thing to see. It's not like a one shoulder design or off shoulder look. It's quite a particular trend that I think is very of the moment. And because of that, maybe in 2 years when it's not trendy, I'll definitely be able to tell that a piece was from 2 years ago when the cutout trend was really trendy. So compared to some of the styles we talked about today, I feel like this one can more easily look dated because of the more distinct of the moment look. When I talk about looking dated, I definitely don't mean we're not trendy or we're not fashionable in the eyes of other people. I definitely mean it in the sense that we might reach for it less, because it's not as exciting to us when we're choosing out what to wear. So when I'm buying an item, I would prefer if it feels more timeless, if it feels like it won't look as dated, because I'll always find a new way to wear it in that case. These are all of the wearable style trends that I wanted to share with you today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As I said at the start, I don't feel like I'll ever recommend someone to buy a really trendy item unless you feel like it suits your personal style, it looks good on you, and it genuinely fits into your wardrobe. These are just some of the things that are currently inspiring me and inspiring me to wear my wardrobe in new ways. A huge thank you to Mejuri for working with me in today's video. I will have the 20% off information down below, as well as the pieces that I've shown in today's video down below. If you enjoyed today's video, I've been filming 2 videos a week, so I have a ton of other videos on my channel that I think you'll like. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.